Last year, I discovered and joined a Facebook group called the Dad Bod Transformation. Quick shameless plug, it is the best Facebook group I have discovered for men's fitness and for maintaining an encouraging and educational atmosphere. Over 50,000 members, and guys come in there asking all kinds of health questions, physical health, mental health, sometimes getting very personal with their questions, revealing things about themselves. I found it quite surprising, but on the positive side, the responses are almost always helpful, encouraging. It's guys getting together and really lifting each other up, and it's well moderated so that it does not descend into ridicule or the even bigger problem I see anytime I join a fitness forum, chat room, Facebook page. They start out nobly and then they descend. They descend into guys just there for, we'll just stop right there. Great group. One thing I noticed as 2021 began is that a lot of new guys joined, and a lot of them posted something that went very much like this. I'm 300 pounds. I'm over 300 pounds. I've never exercised. I want to lose weight and get stronger. Where do I get started? And the more I saw that, the more I thought, well, instead of typing the same advice over and over and over again, why not just create a video, another episode of my series, answering that question? Now, I did not create it for the Dad Bod Transformation people. It is for anyone watching this, wherever you are, whoever you are. You do not have to join that group, although I recommend it. You don't have to be a member there, none of that. I didn't create it for them, I created it because of them. So this is to benefit anybody out there watching who is sitting there going, it's a new year, I sit on the couch and eat and watch TV. I'm sick and tired of this body. I'm tired of going, just getting out to my car in the garage, gets my heart rate up, gets my breath up. I can't even go up a flight of stairs without sweating. If you want to get in better shape and you are a total newcomer, this one is just for you. Welcome to the Former Couch Potato Club. Before we go anywhere, unlike a lot of my other episodes where I simply talk about what I've been doing at the gym or to get in better shape, I am now about to dispense advice. And so I want to highlight quite clearly this screen at the end of every video that I create, which basically says this is advice. You need to decide whether or not it's good for you. And one of the key ways to helping decide that is to visit a physician, especially if you really are out of shape. If you are dangerously obese and you've never exercised, check with a physician before you try out even the simplest stuff that I mention here. But anyway, I just want to highlight that last screen. If you do something based on what I tell you here and you get injured and you try to sue me for it, one, I did warn you, and two, I don't have a lot of money, so you'll actually lose money on your lawyer trying to get money out of me. You were sitting there one day eating a bunch of Cheetos, watching Oprah, and you realized that your body fat was spilling out over the arms of your armchair, and you said, this is disgusting. Or maybe you got out of the shower one day and you saw yourself naked in the mirror and went, this is disgusting. Maybe, like me, you got on the scale one day and the number was so high, you just went, this has got to stop. Maybe you had to go to a meeting on the second floor of a building, and just going up that one flight of stairs had you breathing so heavy you were embarrassed to enter the office lobby and greet the secretary until you calmed down. Okay, then this is advice for you. You've decided that you want to get started and you want to get healthy and you want to get over it. This is not about fat shaming. This is not me looking at you saying you're disgusting. This is about getting healthy. And I want to just brief tangent here. If you are watching this in January of 2021, you may be aware that Cosmopolitan magazine just came out with a cover article where the headline was basically, and this may be an exact quote, "Fat is healthy." No, it's not. Okay? Fat can be beautiful. Beautiful is relative. Okay? I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to get into how you look. How you look and whether you like how you look or not is up to you. But 300 pounds, where 35% of that is body fat, is not healthy. It's not good for your heart. It's not good for your organs. It's not good for you. Now, some people actually have a glandular problem where they got fat no matter what they tried. Their body has a disorder and it just makes them fat. Some people got fat, and you may be one of them. I was definitely one of them. Because you were lazy and you just liked eating what you liked eating. You enjoyed eating the foods you liked with no self-control. You ate them whenever you could. If that's your case, it's fightable, and I would encourage you to fight it. Again, not because of how you look. That's up to you. That's personal. But because it is bad for your body to be overweight. That's why they have a category called morbidly obese. You can be so obese where it could kill you. I don't care what Cosmopolitan says. If you're dead, that's not healthy. Parentheses, also not beautiful. Okay. So let's go ahead and get into it. And I want to start real simple. This whole episode is going to be real simple. But if you truly are a newcomer, hopefully within the next, we're probably down to about 15 minutes now, I will have, you will walk away with something that you can use. So if you are asking, how do I get started? The answer is just get started. Don't worry about signing up at a gym, paying a lot of money to go to a building where you don't yet know what to do and hope that you can figure it out. Don't hire a nutritionist. Well, you can, but get started right now. How are some ways you can get started before you even know anything? One, and this is the advice I give to everybody because it was the advice given to me, go for a walk. 30 minutes daily. If it's cold, bundle up. Now, having said that, we are living in a time in this world where you might live in a city where it's actually a violation of your governor's orders or your mayor's orders to even go out for a walk right now. I hope that's not the case, but if it is, not getting political, not getting into that debate. If you can, go outside for a walk for 30 minutes. If you can't, do you have a hallway? This will get very monotonous, but crank your favorite music, find some way to make it interesting, and just go up and down that hallway for 30 minutes. What you're doing, even with such a low-impact exercise, that it may even seem to you like, how is that a benefit? It is, at a minor level, getting your muscle fibers stimulated and getting your heart and lungs doing something. It is more than just sitting in a chair. So get up and do it. 30 minutes every day. It's basic. It's easy. But it's valuable. It is useful. The model, Fabio, if you're old enough to remember Fabio, he was famous when I was a kid, and his presence on romance novel covers and workout magazines was hilarious because they always had the fan going that blew his hair off to the side, and he always had that smoldering look. But I remember reading somewhere, somehow I actually bothered to take the time to read an interview with him, and he said one of the things he does after every meal is he goes for a walk. And one thing that helps prevent is for the food that he just ate to just metabolize into body fat and sit there on his body. You may not be concerned with looking like Fabio, but the principle is still the same. If it seems like a chore now, if it seems like maybe at the end of 30 minutes you are actually breathing heavy, do it enough, and eventually you'll discover, oh, hey, I'm not breathing as heavy as I used to. If it gets easier, find some way to make it harder again. Get a backpack, load up some books, and wear that around on your walk. Add some weight to your walk. make it harder for you. Because if you feel that walking getting easier, that means your muscles, heart, and lungs are getting stronger. So now they need more of a challenge. That's how they grow. They grow by you challenging them. What about resistance exercise? Okay, actually intentionally building some muscle. Again, if you truly are a newcomer, although I recommend a gym, that wouldn't be my first piece of advice. Don't spend the time and money going to a place where you don't yet know what to do. Or maybe, if you haven't exercised, you aren't right now strong enough to make it worth your money to go to a gym. So I would say start right at home with what are called body weight exercises, your own weight. Probably the most common is push-ups. Everybody talks about push-ups, got to do push-ups. If you're really, really hefty and you're really weak, and that's not an insult, that's just a reality. If that's just a reality for you, the basic push-up itself might even be too much. There was a time where just doing 10 push-ups had me ready to quit the whole exercise regime and say, I just want to sit in my chair and eat Cheetos and watch Oprah. Actually, I don't like Oprah. I like Terry Gilliam films. But there are variations on that. If you want to reduce how much exercise and resistance you are providing for your arms and chest when you do a push-up, instead of using your feet as the fulcrum, use the knees as the fulcrum. Sometimes that's called a girl's push-up. Ignore the people who would call you a girl for doing it that way. You are doing what you need to. You're doing what you should. Other ways to work yourself up to doing an actual push-up would be to do incline push-ups. Get to an incline. Find a kitchen counter and position yourself just right on that so that the arms are in the right position to do a push-up, which I'm not going to spend the time doing a full tutorial on, but you do want your arms in the right position. And then do it from there, because being at that incline means that you've already conquered a certain amount of gravity. You aren't applying the full vertical gravity force. I'm probably not using the right scientific terms. Don't come hounding me. But you've eliminated some of that force already. And going from here to here is less work. It's still work. Body weight squats, a basic squat just from a standing position. I recommend arms out so that you provide some balance, but just squat right from there. If that's too much work, put your hands on the counter so that when you're in the squatting position, both your legs and your arms are working to push yourself up. There are a great many things you can do right at home without even a weight set, without even a dumbbell or resistance bands that will get you started. Number one, therefore, is just get started. Number two is go slow. It is true that if you haven't exercised and you are overweight, your muscles have tended more toward atrophy rather than hypertrophy. Hypertrophy basically meaning growth, and atrophy basically meaning shrinking, getting weaker. You don't want to, well, you shouldn't want to. Whether you want to or not, you shouldn't. Go to a gym, load up a barbell, and start, really trying to push yourself. Find out what your body can do. Find out where the pains are, and just work your way up to the bigger goal, the bigger drive, the heavier weight. And third, that one's pretty simple, so we're moving right along. Third, get over feeling stupid. And here's why I say this. I was one of these people, and I've met people like this, who I avoided a gym for years in my 20s. Back when I really could have used it, back when I really should have gotten started, I avoided a gym for years because I was afraid of being the fat guy in a gym full of beautiful people who all knew exactly what they were doing. They knew what every piece of equipment was for and how to utilize it best and how to put together a great workout program, and et cetera, et cetera. All the brochures show beautiful people smiling as they do their yoga and their treadmill and their barbell curls and stuff like that, having a great time. All the TV commercials loaded with just really attractive people at the gym. And I didn't want to be a part of that. And then I joined a gym. I made myself join one day, and I found out that the reality is that the people who use the gym are nothing like the people in the brochure. They're working their way there, and there are some people at a gym who, if we're just going by aesthetic, they are head turners. You turn and look and go, wow, nice job. But a gym is for making those kinds of people. And so you're going to find fat people at a gym. You're going to find out-of-shape people, really skinny people with no muscle whatsoever at a gym. Even Planet Fitness, the gym franchise, excuse me, we're not a gym, we're Planet Fitness. The fitness facility franchise that thrives on a business model of how do I put it? Creating an atmosphere for people like me, people like you, who, in my 20s, I probably would have gravitated toward that business model. Oh, a place I can go where I won't be surrounded by incredibly perfect muscle studs making me feel like a fat ogre. But even they, if you watch their commercials, stoop to the very same thing. Their trainers in their commercials and brochures and on their website are all young, attractive people. They're not even trainers. They're just the desk clerks, the personnel working there. In their promotional material, they're all young and beautiful. And the people they present in their commercials as average still have a cinematic attractiveness to them. I just before making this episode, just to verify that I wasn't making this up, I went and found a bunch of Planet Fitness commercials on YouTube. And they still don't have what society would call the unattractive fat guy in any of their commercials. They don't have it. And having said that, somebody may be able to find one out there. But as a general trend across their promotional media, they still do the very same thing that they criticize in the major gyms out there. They present themselves as a beautiful place. They present all of their workers and clientele as already having a certain standard of visual attractiveness. So, I repeat point 3. Get over feeling stupid. Are there haters out there who will ridicule you? Yes. They are morons. Why? Because everybody has to start somewhere. And if you go for a walk, you're doing something about your health. If you do get a gym membership, you're purchasing the privilege of going to a building designed for people like you. Designed to help you. You're actually using the equipment for what it's meant for. Anyone mocking you for that is an idiot, is an arrogant jerk, and you should simply ignore that person. I made myself get over feeling stupid maybe long before some of my neighbors would have appreciated. They might have appreciated my staying humble a little bit longer. When it's summer and it's hot, I like the feeling of going for a jog with no shirt on. And in the early days of my video series, I actually videotaped some of my time at the track with no shirt on. And I remember the first time that I videotaped it and then brought it home and saw the footage, and I just went, oh, that's what the neighbors are seeing. I have been out for a jog with no shirt on. I think in the past 10 years it's happened only twice, but it has happened. Somebody has driven by and hollered out of their car window, "Get a shirt on." Okay, it happens. It happens. Like I said, I probably got over feeling stupid sooner than some people would have appreciated, but I did it. Let's switch over to food now, and